I'll be there to lift you from the ground. Don't be afraid, just let me in. Love me and I'll do the same.
Hey everybody, it's Marquita.
And I'm Gary.
And we are here doing Vlogmas Day 7. And for y'all that might not know, maybe not from the United States, and I don't know if it's in all of the history books of the world. I'm sorry if I sound dumb. If it is, I'm sorry. Today is Pearl Harbor Day, Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day, and I'll let Gary tell y'all what Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day is.
Okay, everybody. On Sunday morning, December the 7th, 1941, the Imperial Japanese Navy Air Service attacked Naval Station Pearl Harbor in Honolulu, Hawaii territory without warning and without a declaration of war, killing 2,403 American servicemen and injuring 1,178 others. The attack sank the U.S. Navy battleships. It sank 4 of the Navy battleships and damaged 4 others. It also damaged 3 cruisers, 3 destroyers, and 1 mine layer.
Hold on. After we do that, let's look up the name of the boats. The name of the boats was named after, I think one was Tennessee, one was Kentucky, I think one was Pennsylvania. Don't quote me on that. We're going to look up the name of the boats, and we will share that with you.
Okay. Aircraft losses were 188 destroyed, 159 damaged. In the aftermath, Canada declared war on Japan within hours of the attack on Pearl Harbor, the first Western nation to do so, including the U.S. On December the 8th, the U.S. declared war on Japan and entered World War II on the side of the Allies. In speaking to Congress, President Franklin D. Roosevelt called the bombing of Pearl Harbor a date which will live in infamy. On August the 23rd, 1994, the United States Congress, by the proclamation, public, I don't know what that is, Public L 103-308, designated December the 7th of each year as National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. On Pearl Harbor Day, the American flag should be flown at half-staff until sunset to honor those who died as a result of the attack on the U.S. military and naval forces in Hawaii. Pearl Harbor Day is not a federal holiday,
which it should be.
Government offices, schools, businesses do not close,
which is messed up.
Which should. They definitely should.
They really should.
Some organizations may hold special events in memory of those killed or injured at Pearl Harbor.
You just want to add about your
I had an interesting fact that I was just going through. We did this on Pearl Harbor last year, and I got to calculating back. My grandfather was. This happened 3 days.
No, it was. I thought his birthday was the 8th.
December the 4th. It happened 3 days after my grandfather's 18th birthday, and I can't remember the exact date, but I believe he entered. He actually got drafted he either got drafted at the end of 42 and then came back for a short time, or he got drafted early in, late in 43. Because my dad was born in 44.
Yeah, June 44.
So he had to go back, like, I think 8 months before my dad was born, because several of the neighbors around my grandmother thought she had cheated on my grandfather, which she hadn't. It's just the way it worked out.
Yeah, he looked just like his daddy.
He looked just like him. So, you could not say he was not my grandfather.
Yeah.
He's a spitting image of him.
But his grandmother was a very interesting, she had a very interesting health history. I will not say what it was, but it's a very interesting health history. And like, if you know her personally, or if you know her history, you know it is. Gary knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think if I was like one of her neighbors, I wouldn't have thought that she would have cheated on her husband. I would have been like, whose baby did you steal? That's what I probably would have said.
I'll look up the ships now.
Okay. And then, hold on, we're gonna pause it and I'll come back when he finds the ships. Alright, we're back, guys.
Okay, here's a list of the ships and stuff that were there at Pearl Harbor on that day. The USS Pennsylvania, it was damaged. Arizona was sunk. Nevada was seriously damaged and beached at Hospital Point. Oklahoma was sunk. Tennessee, relatively minor damage, repaired by February 1942. California was sunk, floated, rebuilt by January 1944. Maryland was damaged, 2 bombs hit, repaired by February the 26th, 1942. West Virginia was sunk. It was floated back up and rebuilt by July 1944. New Orleans had minor damage. The San Francisco was undamaged. Raleigh was damaged by a torpedo. Raleigh. Detroit was
Ain't
undamaged.
that North Carolina, Raleigh?
Yeah, Raleigh, North
Okay.
Carolina. The Phoenix was undamaged. Honolulu had minor damage from a bomb bombs near miss.
Can you please go get a shirt on?
St. Louis
Your boobies are shining.
had minor bullet hits. Helena
Oh,
was
that's what
seriously damaged.
I want
and it
that.
was repaired by mid 1942.
for y'all that don't know, I want Helena by My Chemical Romance to play as they carry my casket down the aisle and as they carry it out of the church into the hearse. Yes, I know that's dark, but I just thought I'd throw that in there just in case anybody see it. That's what I want played at my funeral. It's Helena by My Chemical Romance.
Okay. The Allen was undamaged.
Hey, you were undamaged.
Chalet was undamaged. Chew was undamaged. Ward undamaged. Dewey undamaged. Farragut was undamaged. Hull was very minor damage from a bomb near miss. McDonough was undamaged. Warden undamaged. Dale was undamaged. Monahan was undamaged. Elwyn had minor damage to a propeller. Selfridge was undamaged. Phelps was undamaged. Cummings had minor damage by bomb fragments. Reed was undamaged. Case was undamaged. Cunningham was undamaged. Payson was heavily damaged, considered lost, but rebuilt by February the 5th, 1944. Shaw was heavily damaged, lost a bow, but repaired by July 1942. Tucker was undamaged. Downs was heavily damaged, considered lost, but rebuilt and recommissioned November the 15th, 1943. Bagley was minor damage from nearby explosions. Blue was undamaged. Helm, minor damage by 2 bomb near misses. Mugford was undamaged. Ralph Talbot undamaged. Henley, minor damage by strafing. Patterson was undamaged. Jarvis undamaged. Narwhal was undamaged. Dolphin was undamaged. Cacalot was undamaged. Tautog undamaged. Ogula was sunk, but salvaged and recommissioned on February 1944. Turkey was undamaged. Bobolink undamaged. Rail undamaged. Turn undamaged. Grove undamaged. Vireo undamaged. Gamble undamaged. Ramsey undamaged. Montgomery undamaged. Breeze was undamaged. Tracy undamaged. Preble undamaged. Sicard was undamaged. Pruitt was undamaged. Zane was undamaged. Wasmuth was undamaged. Trevor undamaged. Perry was undamaged. Sacramento was undamaged. Dobbins had minor damage. Whitney undamaged. Curtis suffered bomb damage, repaired in San Francisco.
Hannah's right there.
Back to Pearl Harbor by January the 13th, 1942. Tangler had minor damage by several bomb near misses. Avocet undamaged. Swan was undamaged. Hulbert was undamaged. Thornton was undamaged. Pyro had minor damage due to a near miss from a dive bomber. Ramapo was undamaged. Neosho was undamaged. Moved to berth M3, Mary Point at 9:30. Medusa was undamaged.
Medusa.
Vestal was damaged, sunk by 2 bombs, and adjacent to Arizona during explosions. Rigel, minor damage from bomb near miss. Piteous, undamaged. Widgeon, undamaged. Solus, undamaged. Castor was undamaged. Hold still, Van. I can't read. You're shaking me. Antares was undamaged, docked at Honolulu at 11:46. Ontario was undamaged. Kiasanqua, it doesn't say anything about it. Utah was sunk and a total loss. Argon, there's no mention on it.
So the spider?
Huh?
Oh, his name
It's
is
just Argon, not Aragon.
Oh, okay.
But close. Sumner had minor injuries to gun crews incurred while fighting an aircraft. Cockatoo, undamaged. Crossbill, undamaged. Condor, undamaged. Reedbird, no info. Sunderland, no info. Taney, undamaged, moored at Honolulu Harbor. Hoga was undamaged during attack, and Sadayomo was damaged by shaw explosions and fires, completely submerged. Thought total loss, but repaired and returned to service. That was it. That was all of them.
Okay. And then go back to that one. Hold on. I wanted Gary to read one more thing. Please bear with us. We want to give the proper remembrance and the proper...
Going back to plaques.
No. Well, you can read the plaques, but that one on the internet. The proper respect and the proper remembrance to the people. So hold on, please. Guys, we're back.
Okay. She wanted me to read this part. Burgum orders flag flown at half-staff in honor of National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day.
That was posted at 5:11 and on the 6th.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on. My phone's acting up.
Okay. Yeah, on the 6th. So 5:11 p.m. they posted it.
Yeah. Was that today?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the 7th for y'all, but it's still the 6th for us.
Is that in Bismarck? No, I don't think so.
Indy.
I don't know what that is.
North Dakota?
That's what I think. Bismarck, North Dakota, but I don't know if
guess.
that's right.
I'm sorry if we're
Valley
wrong.
News Live was Thursday. Thursday will mark the 76th anniversary of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in Hawaii in 1941. On Wednesday, Governor Doug Burgum directed all government agencies to fly the United States and North Dakota flags at half-staff from sunrise to sunset on Thursday, December the 7th, in observance of the anniversary. Which I thought that was already government.
No, remember it's not. No, remember it's not a government holiday.
It's not a government holiday, but they said that they ordered that from that day.
Yeah, but
from that day on, that they all be flown at half staff on that day.
You know, people.
Yeah.
These days don't show respect. Did you read all of it, Gary?
Oh, I'll get there. Okay. Then more than 2,400 Americans were killed and more than 1,100 were wounded on that day. We honor the legacy of those who paid the ultimate price at Pearl Harbor and express our gratitude to all our World War II veterans who served our nation, said Burgum. In the words of Navy Admiral Chester C. Nimitz, they fought together as brothers in arms. They died together, and now they sleep side by side. To them we have a solemn obligation. The governor's directive is in accordance with a proclamation to be issued Thursday by President Donald Trump.
Yeah. And then read the plaques. Last but not least, write fast because Gary's phone is dying.
Wish I could get rid of that. Okay, the first we have Pearl Harbor, a day that will live in infamy. 188 U.S. aircraft were destroyed, over 300 impacted. 2,402 Americans were killed and 1,282 wounded. 18 ships in total were destroyed. All 8 U.S. Navy battleships were damaged, with 4 being sunk. And then we have a plaque that honors them.
It will be at the end of this video.
Yeah, it says on December 7th, 1941, and this was presented on December the 7th, 1984. It says, in memory of the 2,335 men who perished in the service of their country on the island of Oahu,
Bless you.
on December the 7th, 1941. Pearl Harbor Survivors Association, Carnation Chapter 3, San Diego, 1984. And then this is the last one. It says, Pearl Harbor, December the 7th, 1941. A date which will live in infamy. No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people, in their righteous might, will win through to absolute victory. What was it?
But like we said, we just want to show proper respect and proper remembrance for those that fought for us and lost before we were even born. Like Gary said, his daddy wasn't even born when this happened. His granddaddy was barely an adult in the eyes of the law when this happened. So you can see, like, you know, how important it is to me and Gary. I don't know if my granddaddy even was in it. Like, I don't know. Huh? He would have been.
His age was about the right age.
Okay.
He'd just have been about Papa's age.
Yeah. But with that, we wanted to let the families that lost people, or lost friends and loved ones, that they will not be forgotten, at least by us, and we will continue remembering and celebrate, or not celebrating. What am I trying to say, Gary? Those who
Remembering,
I don't want to say celebrate it, because it's not a happy occasion.
I guess try to honor the people.
Yeah, honor the people that lost their lives, and that even the ones that didn't lose their lives, even the ones that made it out, we still want to remember them also, because they fought also. Even the ones that got to come home. alive,
And even the ones that came home alive, they still suffered pretty much the rest of most of them suffered the rest of their life. Like my grandfather, he was a surgical tech in the Army, so he had to run onto the battlefields, bring injured people back in the front line to treat them enough that they could possibly go to a surgeon and get patched up and sent home or back to the front. And that's how he did what he did the whole time. And he was not allowed to carry any kind of weapon. So all he had was a little surgical knife about that big. That's all he was allowed to carry for removing bullets and stuff like that. So his troop that was with him, some of his buddies would stay right there next to him to protect him because they carried weapons. And what happened one time I think it was in France, they went around a corner, they heard a mortar go off, and when it hit, it blew up his two buddies beside him, left him standing there covered in their blood, and he had to walk around for the next 3 weeks covered in their blood because there was no time for him to change or get cleaned up or nothing. And that haunted him to the day he died. And that's what several of the ones there, because world wars are worse than even these, like in Afghanistan. That's bad enough in what they went through in Afghanistan. But they were right there. It went on for a long time, and they got to witness really bad, brutal stuff, and it tortured their minds.
Yeah.
And I'm not to say that it's not doing that to the current ones that have, because I know they're the same way.
Yeah.
But we've not actually been in a big long war since then. So even our soldiers now are not seeing the on and on and on and on and on and on damaged bodies and blood and guts all around them, bodies laying everywhere. Even now they don't get to see that much. They see enough, but they don't see as much as they did there. And I've never been in war, but I just imagine what that would do to my mind.
Yeah.
Particularly, the only thing with my grandfather, he had the blessing of knowing that he didn't kill anybody.
Yeah.
He was trying to save everybody, enemies and allies, because he felt like life mattered, and he tried to help everybody. And we as the U.S. Army, that's what they wanted. It didn't matter where they were. They could take the enemy in as prisoners if they were saved, and then of course saving our own people. But having gun explosions all around you, and you seeing all those bodies, that would have to torment your mind. It just would be awful.
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine it, and I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, I know.
Think I could do it.
I couldn't go to war. I'm glad that it was not I'm glad that when I turned 18, was not a mandatory draft where you had to sign up, you have to serve. Because let's say that I got picked, and I have sickle cell trait. Now, for y'all that don't know that, it's a blood disorder. I was born with it. I was not born with the anemia, the full disease. I was born with the trait because my daddy has it. My mama doesn't have it, so I have half of the disease. But the half that I do have is bad enough. But with sickle cell trait and sickle cell anemia, the full disease. You're not allowed to fly. You're not allowed to be in high altitudes or altitudes that are too high where the air is thin and a lot of pressure. And you're not allowed to be in enough pressure. Like I can't go scuba diving and I can't fly because both of them pressures will put air, because my blood cells are not perfectly round. Some of them are, but not all of them. And since they're not perfectly round, the ones that are not round, they're already in the shape of a sickle, hence the name sickle cell. Some of them are in a sickle, so they're already not carrying healthy oxygen to your organs. So just imagine them that are already halfway collapsed naturally, trying to carry oxygen in a pressure system, and then the healthy ones, and I use that very lightly, very loosely, and the healthy ones that are actually round, that is actually carrying oxygen, are now being pressed on also. So it will put air in your bloodstream, in your veins, and you can die. And so, with that said, let's say that this was 1941, and they didn't have testing, and it was a mandatory draft, and I got drafted. 1.5 flat feet, which I know that, I don't know if it was a myth back in the days, but okay. My feet are not flat anymore because I wore shoes with arches, so now I have a little arch. And I'm female, and I'm the youngest kid. But anyhow, my mama's youngest kid, but my daddy's oldest. So that's a double negative because I'm the oldest, but I'm also the youngest. But okay, let's say that I do get sent over there. Well, in order to get over there, they're not going to be like, oh, we'll hop on a boat. We'll take you by boat. No, they're going to paw you up on the airplane. And I'm going to be sitting there dead on the airplane or sick from the pressure, and them not knowing why I'm sick from the pressure. And so they're going to be like, well, we'll ship you back to the United States. Okay, I'm already sick because of the pressure from the plane, and then they ship me back to the United States. I might not make it. And then they go, well, we don't know what happened. She got off the plane, she was sick, so we sent her back and she was dead. So I know that's like very selfishly thinking. I know it, but I'm just thinking, just imagine if we didn't have the technology that we have today, and let's think that things were still the same as it was back then. I would automatically get drafted, or might have got drafted, with my blood disorder, and had to fight. And that's another thing. That's on the other hand, I do not believe in violence. I am not a violent person. I might rant and rave, but that's as far as I go. Like, I can rant and rave with the best of them, and I can complain, and I can take complaints, and I can take criticism, and I can do all that. But I feel like when it comes to other people's life, I don't want that responsibility. Meaning, when I make videos complaining about what's happening in the government, I'm saying, I feel like things that are being said nowadays and today can cause, because one person has an opinion about something and the other person don't like it, it's not affecting that one person. It's affecting millions of people. So if you don't like the way my hair looks, and I snap at you, and then I don't like the way your hair looks, and I snap at you, and then we start throwing threats to hurt each other, but not just you. I'm threatening to hurt. When I say you, I'm threatening to hurt your whole you, which is just not you physically. It's people that you are over. And that's where I'm like, okay, look, we can argue. We can literally go in the street and me and you physically can fight. But once the fighting gets to, well, I'm going to fight you, and it's not only going to, you're not only going to beat me up, but like when you're hitting me, you're hitting 100 people at the same time. Like, I'm trying to say without being political. Like one punch to my face is giving me and 100 people a black eye, and then my punch to your face is giving you and 100 people a black eye. That's where I draw the line. Like, I don't care if we are mad at each other. I don't care if we fight. That is perfectly fine. But when it affects other people's life, that's when I'm like, okay, it's getting out of sync.
There's another way to say it.
Okay, we'll go. I'm trying to say it without...
The best way to say it would be like, okay, you're mad at me. You're wanting to fight me.
Yeah.
So, to get back at me, you punch her.
Yeah.
That's what she's trying to say.
Yeah.
It's like, I might be safe somewhere, but because you're mad at me, you take it out on her, or you take it out on our daughters, or you take it out on my cousin instead of me.
Yeah.
It's meant to me, but you're actually attacking other people.
Yeah. And I'm talking about that on both sides of the government that's going on right now. Not trying to cause problems, not trying to be demonetized, not trying to look like I'm on one side, because I'm on nobody's side. I'm on the side of the innocent people. The people that has nothing to do with that argument. And I have nothing to do with the argument that you and your roadies have. I have no business to do with his argument and what his roadies do. That has nothing to do with me. But when things are being done that's affecting me, and I'm like, I didn't even say anything. Like, why am I going to jail? Because the neighbor that's 3 houses down stole a pack of gum from Walmart, and I don't know that neighbor personally. Why is everybody in this neighborhood going to jail for what that person do? And we don't even know that person could have just like moved in that day, went to Walmart, stole a pack of gum because they live in our city, in our town, in our neighborhood. We all go to jail. We all paying for it. That's not right. That's not right. That's what I say. I'm not a violent person. Like, if I'm gonna fight, I want to. Like, if I get to a fight, I want it to be because, one, we're beefing. I know why you're mad. You know why I'm mad. We're actually arguing, and if it comes to physical, then I know that it's gonna come to physical. Like, I will expect it if it gets to a certain point. But when I'm not even a part of the conversation and I'm still gonna pay the price of death, maybe. How is that fair? It's not.
Yeah, that's what I was
at all.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like, say my neighbor. I don't know any of my neighbors right now.
Yeah, we don't. Here. Yeah.
But let's say one of my neighbors over here gets in a fight with a guy across town. He says, "I think you're the ugliest man on earth," and that guy says, "Well, I don't like the way you're dressed," and then. He can snatch back with some other snide remark. Yeah. Well, that guy now gets mad, so he comes out and he starts shooting everybody in the apartment.
Yeah.
And that guy's not even here. He's gone somewhere else. Yeah. But they're sitting there cleaning house and everybody in this apartment because of what he said.
Yeah.
That's what she's getting at, and that's the kind of effect we're looking at, and we want to avoid that.
Yeah, very much so.
There's no
Because I'm so anti-war.
Over petty crap.
Right, anti-war, ain't that against war?
Yeah.
I'm so anti-war. I don't even like. I love drama, but I like watching it on TV. Like I love not desperate. I love Real Housewives, but I know some of that is fake. Like I know this. It's very entertaining, but if I like. It's very entertaining until it's real. Like the thing with Portia and Candy, that's not funny. That's not entertaining. That's serious. When you accuse somebody of having a sex dungeon and threatening to drug and rape you, okay, you know what? We can have fun. You could call me ugly. You could say I can't sing. You could say my son got a big head. Please don't talk about Candy's son because he is a very cute little ace. But I'm just saying. Say that, she gonna cuss you out, she might fight you, but okay. But when you threaten, when you lie, like federally lie saying that she was going to drug you and rape you, hold on now. Like that's serious. Like we can argue, we can fight, but you stepped over the line and drug the cat with you. That's what I'm saying. Like I like drama when I know that okay, it might be a little exaggerated, but it's not dangerous, and it's like obviously exaggerated, and like I said, not dangerous. But when it gets dangerous, no, that's not fun. That's not funny. It's not. I don't like that. So like I know Gary's like, oh, she likes drama. I do. I really do. I love the reality shows. I do. I'm a reality junkie. But I know when things are real, and I know when things are fake, and I know when things go over the line, and it's not okay for things to go over the line. But I'm gonna end this video because I'll go ahead.
One more thing,
and then you can end it.
Okay. I'm against war too. I don't like war, but I take a different stance. If I feel like I'm threatened, I will fight. That's the difference between me and
yeah. See, I don't want to fight.
But that's all well and good.
If I can talk my way out.
Me being against war, and yes, I'm willing to fight. The difference is I don't want to fight, and I know. I'm going back to the soldiers now. They don't want to fight either, really. They really don't. And that being said, because they do that and they give me the freedom to not have to fight, I want to give them all the honor that I possibly can because they're risking their life for me.
Yeah.
And that's like Jesus dying on the cross for me. And that's something I can't physically pay back to them for what they did. So the only thing I can do is praise them for what they did, show them the respect that they deserve, and thank them for what they did.
Yeah.
That's all I can do. And to do stuff like this, to try to raise the honor and get people to start respecting them for what they've done. Because even if I'm against war,
yeah,
I'm not against them.
Yeah, I agree.
Most of them are there. Most of them, if they joined. Of course, during a peacetime, they really weren't intending to fight. They wanted to go through, get the clearance that they needed so they could get proper retirement early and just kind of work and make money. That's what most people are doing in there. Then it comes down to war. They're there. They have to go fight. They don't have a choice. Or they go to jail, or could potentially stand in front of a firing squad and get shot because they're not willing to do what they were there to do. So, I think everyone tomorrow, based on because of Pearl Harbor in World War II, yes, you need to give honor, but you all need to take a knee. Not only lower your flag to half-mast, but take just a short time.
Like at
Get
the
on a
time
knee
that...
and give a short prayer for those that lost their lives,
At
or
what
even
time
those
was
that are
it?
still alive that were there and fought for it.
What time did it start? 8?
I think that's what it was, like 8:40 something.
8:40 something. I'm sorry,
I
y'all.
can't remember. We just read it. But
Yeah.
I can't remember. But
It should be a mandatory knee.
if you can, if
But-
you're up at that time.
But wait. If you do a knee and you record it and Donald Trump says anything about it, and I know y'all are not going to see this before, and he's never going to see this, but just let him know you're not kneeling against the flag or against the people that fought. You're kneeling at the time that the first bomb was dropped on the boat in Hawaii. I just wanted to say that very calmly, because if people actually do that, I know it's going to be, oh my gosh, now they're kneeling against the flag on Pearl Harbor.
But it really shouldn't be that way, because that's what the
way.
military themselves do. They go to every.
I just wanted to say that disclaimer,
Yeah, I understand.
so that everybody's like, oh my gosh, now they're kneeling against Pearl Harbor. No, it's in respect.
I mean, you need to do it to honor, like the soldiers do. When they go out, they go to every military person that has died, particularly like in Pearl Harbor. If they know that they're World War II veterans, they go, they take a knee at each grave and place a flag on there. And they spend one moment there, just a short time, to say a short prayer for each individual one that died. That's what I mean. Pay respect. Take a knee. And it don't even have to be around a flag.
Yeah.
Just take a knee at some point. And do it publicly if you are I say brave enough to do it, but not really brave. It's just, if you can, you have the opportunity, it's not raining or something like that, and you can take just a moment, go outside, take a knee so other people see it, and maybe they'll do it too.
Yeah. But
I'm very shy, and
I
tend to not do something like that, but I think I might do that tomorrow.
Yeah, because you'll be up with Savannah.
I think I might do that. Take a moment and take a knee. A short prayer for those who have lost their lives, or even those that are still alive and served and may be having post-traumatic stress syndrome, where they're having flashbacks from it. Even if they're not, they were there, they saw the bad stuff, and I want to be able to honor them in some way. And that, I think, is probably going to be the best way to do it. Take a knee and to show respect. But anyway, this video is very long.
Yeah, it's probably like an hour
I thank you for
long.
your time if you're watching this and watching it to the end.
Yeah.
If you like what we said, or if you agree with what we said, please like it. And if you like the content really well, we ask that you would subscribe to us. Pass this on to anyone you know, because I want everyone to hear this if you've seen it, so we can get as many people as we can across the country to show these military people who lost their lives and that fought in these wars that we do respect what they do, and we respect them for their time.
Yeah.
And I think that's the least we could do, is to take a knee for just a moment for them.
I agree.
But give us a thumbs up, and we appreciate your time again, and You have a great day.
All right.